get the hang of this at some point. Hello, everybody. It's time for dinner with Nanny Bubby. And so what am I doing here every day at 3 o'clock? So let me just tell you, I have a friend, dear friend, Susan Thomas. I'll tag her at the end of this live presentation. But she challenged me to go live every single day, at least Monday through Friday. I'm taking that as the challenge for now. And start talking about what I dream of doing, which is doing dinner with Nanny Bubby with all of you. Because so many people, including me, you know, you get up, you get the kids to school. My kids are already in school and out. I mean, they're old enough. I'm not doing that anymore. But I was traumatized by how much I would get up. It was all about the morning. It was all about then going to work. It was all about doing whatever came next. And then all of a sudden at 3 o'clock, when it was time to go pick them up and we had after school activities and everything else, it was, what are we doing for dinner? And I still, to this day, if I'm not organized and ready to roll for dinner early in the day, or at least by 3 o'clock, I start to panic. And I think so many of you have shared that pain point with me. And so if I can show up every day at 3 o'clock with you and share my pain point at whatever I'm at, or my joy, which my goal is to help you find joy in your cooking. So, so this is what we're doing. Yesterday we started making chicken soup. And while I was going through making the chicken soup, I realized I had started it way too late. And so I couldn't get it going. I couldn't get it off the fire. I couldn't cool it down to get it in the refrigerator overnight so I could finish it today. So I made a decision in that moment to go ahead and turn it into bone broth, which means I would just be cooking it for, in this case, about 16 to 17 hours. I left it cooking all night long while I slept, turned off the heat at about 7 o'clock in the morning, let it cool down until about 10:30, and then I was able to put it in the refrigerator. I mentioned in the Instagram post that if you let it into the refrigerator when it's still hot, it will sour. So that's never a good thing. You don't want your soup to sour. So hi Simona, thank you for watching. Here I am, I'm Nanny Bubby. So all this came about because Susan Thomas challenged me to do 5 days a week of Instagram lives at 3 o'clock or Facebook lives at 3 o'clock. I don't know what I'm doing. I have a, hi Saeed, I have a, thank you for watching. Send me some hearts so I know you can hear me. Send me some thumbs up or whatever it is we all send to each other when we're watching live so the person doing it knows you're there. I was challenged. Now, normally I would wear my Nanny Bubby branded Spread Love with Butter apron, but my dear friend gave me this Chef Nanny Bubby apron, and it brings me comfort. And I would be lying to you if I didn't tell you that I'm a little bit nervous about going live. Usually I have a camera person. I do not have one today. I have a tripod, didn't get my halo hooked up, so not even sure how this looks. But anyway, I am going to go ahead and start this soup. So first of all, I made enough for an army. So I am going to take this broth, which maybe I can just kind of turn this and let you see this big pot of broth right here, how big that pot is. We started it, if you will, here, let me get this. I'm not used to being my own camera person here, but we started it right here in this huge kettle, which looks like a cauldron to me. It's just huge. It's got huge depth. And then what I do is I strained it. Hi, Gary Beck. Thank you for watching. Send me a heart or whatever it is that you, or a thumbs up or something that I know you can hear me. So I strain it. And you saw it in the Instagram post and the regular photo post of the Facebook here. I take all of that after simmering for 16 to 18 hours, making the bone broth, and I strained it, and then I take everything that's remaining and I throw it in the trash. So here's a pro tip here, is I always make my soup on the day before garbage day, and I have garbage day today, so all of that went out into the garbage. I don't have a compost yet, but when I do, I'll probably put it all in there. So first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna prepare it to freeze. So I'll turn this camera a little bit so you can see me here. Tilt it down a little bit so you can see what I'm doing. There we go. Okay, I'm gonna be half in and half out. And I freeze just the broth. And I freeze it as just the broth for two reasons. Number one, a lot of recipes call for just chicken broth. And so I don't want to have the vegetables and everything already in the broth to do that. And also, as I'm filling these, I also, if I freeze them and then I want to take them to people maybe that are sick, my sister, sometimes when she gets sick, she loves my chicken soup. I want to be able to defrost it and then put in the vegetables fresh instead of having them frozen. And I also, when I'm making chicken soup, I actually do not put chicken in my Sorry about that. My sister was calling, speaking of the devil. And I like to, as I was saying, is put fresh vegetables in and cook it up and then put it in a nice looking dish or pot or something to bring to her. And so I also serve it at dinner, which I'm going to be doing tonight, without chicken in it. So there's that. Now you might ask, what is the difference between chicken broth and bone broth? And the difference is actually how long you're cooking it. Just reaching to get these little containers. And these are plastic quart containers that you can get on Amazon. So we're going to fill 5 quarts. I was just saying that my branded apron, which is Nanny, Bubby, Spread Love Like Butter, is not what I'm wearing. That's because this apron was given to me by a very dear friend. And when I am feeling, sometimes maybe anxious about cooking for a large party, or right before I go on TV to do a TV spot, I wear this apron because I call it my magic apron. And she gave it to me with so much love. And when I put it on, I feel comforted and I feel very loved. And so that's why I'm wearing it today, so that I don't lose track of myself during this Facebook Live, because I do not know what I'm doing on Facebook Live, I will tell you that. So now I have this remaining broth to make for dinner tonight, and you're probably thinking, why doesn't she just put all the vegetables and the fruits, the vegetables into this pot? And the reason why is that I really can't tell how much I have. And I'm used to cooking for my family soup in this Le Creuset. So I am literally going to, if you will, bring this Le Creuset over here. And I'm going to transfer, and literally this is already a 2-pot chicken soup or bone broth. Now it's going to become a 3-pot. So. Okay, there we go. Now I've got enough for my family for dinner. Okay, so this is what we're gonna do. Here's the pot. Let me turn this. Oh my gosh. Look how rich that is. Look how rich that is. So the difference between the bone broth and the chicken broth also is there's lots of collagen in bone broth from having cooked it for so very long. So this is very simple. All we're gonna do is we're going to take these carrots right here. These carrots came from Desert Bloom Farms. I love them. They're the only organic farm that sells locally here in the Las Vegas area. We've got Rod's Produce that sells over at the farmers markets, but I get deliveries every Tuesday from Desert Bloom Farms, and I just love them. And you can see how imperfect that carrot is and how imperfect this carrot is, and that's because they're really coming off the farm. Hey Lindsay, hey Tom, you're both joining me. Send me some hearts. Send me, and Yumi, how are you? I'm so happy you guys are all joining me. Okay, Tom, we're having chicken soup for dinner, and I'm gonna roast some chicken along with it. Lindsay, I was just talking about Susan Thomas and how she challenged me to do this live at 3 o'clock every day. So let me just show you. I'm gonna kind of step out and I'm gonna turn this tripod. I am not, thanks for sending the hearts, guys. I am not used to running my own camera here. Where is Vile, my sweet Vile, when you need her? Betty, how are you? Thank you for joining me. Send me a heart, send me something. So as I do this every day, look, I have to tell you, every day at 3 o'clock, I don't look like I just did my makeup and hair. And that's not what this is about. I do makeup and hair when I'm on TV, but Facebook Live, it's really about being real and really showing you how hard it is or how easy it is to just run your everyday life. And certainly cooking is something that is like that. Sometimes I did my hair today just because I hadn't washed it in 3 days, so it was time to do it. And I did put on extra lipstick just to look good for everybody. But you're not gonna see that every day live on Facebook. It's just too hard. So here I am chopping up these carrots. I do not peel them. All the vitamins are in the skin. And I will tell you though, these have been cleaned very, very well with food grade hydrogen peroxide. I talk a lot about that. You'll find an episode on food grade hydrogen peroxide on Nanny Bubby Facebook page. If you scroll down, you'll find it. And that's how I clean all of my fruits and vegetables, unless I grow them in my own garden, in which case I do not put the peroxide on, but I always rinse it, because as my son-in-law pointed out, there's still some little tiny bugs on the things. Like I gave them a bunch of kale and it had bugs on it. And of course it did, because bugs live in the garden. But they're good bugs, and you just need to give them a splash of water and they all come off. So anyway, and if you want to know more about the food grade hydrogen peroxide, you can also DM me and I will answer your questions. So let's get all the rest of these. I love these imperfect carrots, right? Because fruits and vegetables grow very imperfectly. They're not meant to all be uniform. Nothing is that perfect. So I'm always suspect at the perfect looking things, as you should be, because nature was not meant to be perfect, and nature was not meant to be mono. It's meant to be all very different, everything unique and different, just like this very strange looking carrot. So this means it was well bred, well done. Okay, into the pot. Now, one thing I want to say, in a couple of weeks, we're going to be talking about making these tiger pumpkin soup bowls. And all I want to tell you is if you don't go buy these tiger pumpkins before October 30th, they will never, never still be there. They'll be gone. They're off the shelves October 30th. At least they are here in the Las Vegas area. So if you want to join us for that cooking seminar, webinar, Zoominar as I call it, you need to get your tiger pumpkins now. Okay, enough about that. We're doing celery. Okay. Now, food takes time. There is nothing quick about food preparation. Absolutely nothing quick about it. And you have to change culture about it. Hey, Miranda. Is it Miranda, or are you just tagging them, Lindsay? Thank you so much. I love that. Who else is? Oh, yep, Susan Thomas needs to come on. I'm talking about Susan Thomas. I love her and I hate her for challenging me on this, right, Lindsay? So this food is not supposed to be quick. It's just not. Somewhere along the line, people, Madison Avenue, quick serve restaurants, got us all thinking that food needed to be quick. They also got us thinking that as women, we shouldn't be in the kitchen with aprons on, and we should be working and doing our thing. And many of us are. Many of us are working. Many of us are doing a lot of things in our lives. But at the end of the day, you don't want to just feed your family. You want to nourish your family. And you can't nourish your family quickly. It takes time, it takes thought, it takes energy. It takes a lot of work, and that work can be fun and it can be a family activity. And that's what I hope to share with you, is the family activity of cooking. So, okay, celery and carrots into the pot. Now we're going to take dill. This was already open. So the only thing that did not come out of a garden that was actually store-bought is the dill, because I cannot grow dill. Hey, Nancy Cleveland, how are you? Welcome. So happy to see you. Send me a little heart or thumbs up if you will, just so I know you can hear me. I've got in my AirPods. Nancy just debuted a new podcast today, which is amazing. So thank you, Nancy, for joining us. Okay. And parsley. Okay. So I seriously, yesterday when I started this soup, I did not show my face. Uh-oh. I think I lost you. Okay. Siri, go away. Okay, I'm back. Siri interrupted. Okay. So I looked horrible. I mean, I just had made this promise to Susan Thomas that I would do this starting Thursday, and I was not prepared to do it, and I was a disaster. I was a mess. So I didn't show my face, but at the end of the day, I am not going to look like this every day either. I'm truly going to get my courage up to really show you who I am and what I look like every day at 3 o'clock. So we call this the 3 o'clock dreads, getting rid of it, and I am here to help you so that you don't dread all this cooking and preparing for your family, because it's the most important thing that you can do, and I really, really want to help you. So hey, Susan Harrison, hey Miranda, so good to see you guys. I just made bone broth. It started out as chicken soup, but I started it too late. Hey Yvonne, I don't know you personally, but I'm so happy you're watching. So happy to have you join us, Yvonne, so send me a heart or a thumbs up so I know you're there. But what happened is you really need to let soup cool for a good time. So if I started at 3 and I let it cook for 4 hours, that would be 7. If I let it cool for 2.5 to 3 hours, that would be 10 o'clock at night, and I would be sleeping. So what I did is I left the soup on the stove on a simmer, and I let it go for 18 hours, 17, I think 18 hours, till it became bone broth. And the difference between bone broth and chicken soup is that it just lasts longer, and it really has a much richer taste. Now I will tell you, I never season anything. I did put salt and pepper in it when I was making it. But now that I am doing it and taking that bone broth and doing it for dinner, I am seasoning it right before I serve it. It's because if you eat a certain appetizer, your taste changes, and then your soup could be too salty or not salty enough based on what you might have had in your mouth right before you serve that soup. So I always taste right before I serve so that I can adjust the seasoning for whatever we've eaten around it all has happened. You have a little snack. If you have, let's see, if you have a potato chip snack right before you serve the soup, it is going to taste not salty enough, as an example. So you have to always taste right before you serve, because the amount of salt and pepper you put in is based on what you might have had in your mouth prior to that. So I'm just gonna rinse my hands. I'm gonna take this and put it on the oven. I guess I need this. If you wanna see what I'm actually making along with the soup for dinner, you need to send me a bunch of thumbs up, those of you that are left. And if not, I'll just see you Monday at 3 o'clock and we'll do it again. So thank you for joining. There were so many of you, more than I've ever had, 2 more than I've ever had, which is awesome. And I'm sorry Susan Thomas missed this, but at 3 p.m. every day, come have dinner with Nanny Bubby, and we'll get rid of the dinner dreads together. Thank you for joining me. Bye. Well, I'd say goodbye if I knew how to do this. I don't even know how to finish this video. Okay, there it is.